Welcome everyone to the presentation of the internationalization strategy for our client Jollibee Foods Corporation. The expansion goal of our client is to set 1,000 restaurants in 6 years, and here it is the overview of how we will tackle this objective. Let's start with the ownership specific advantage. We started asking ourselves what are Jollibee critical resources and capabilities. To answer this question, we started with a SWOT analysis that allowed us to identify Jollibee's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This analysis was fundamental to establish what are the critical resources and capabilities that can lead Jollibee to gain a sustainable competitive advantage. With this purpose, we used the VRIO framework and we identified the Filipino know-how, the trademark, the Filipino origin, and the partnerships and relationships as the critical resources and capabilities on which Jollibee should concentrate its attention. Jollibee should focus on the listed points because its success depends on the ability of developing, integrating, and transferring tacit and organizational knowledge in order to maintain the competitive advantage over time. This aim can be achieved with the use of a well-oiled knowledge management system, which is an IT system that stores and retrieves knowledge, improves collaboration, and allows to share knowledge. In order to put the KMS into practice, Jollibee should identify the sources of knowledge and try to codify and store it in the IT systems in order to be shared more easily throughout the company. This process can be simplified following the SESI model that allows to codify also the tacit knowledge through 4 steps: socialization, externalization, combination, and internalization. That leads the codified knowledge to be a company asset. Practically, the KMS can be realized at 2 levels. On a structural level, through the creation of a non-competitive atmosphere, the implementation of a mentoring philosophy, the coordination and interdependence between headquarters and subsidiaries, the consideration of subsidiaries as sources of knowledge, ideas, and capabilities, and finally, through the high involvement and commitment of the top management. On a HR level, Jollibee should build informal networks between the employees, should invest in trainings to encourage a non-stop learning process, should encourage extensive travels and transfers among managers, should share stories through the informal structure in order to make one's work visible, and it should promote a reward-based system for those who successfully perform in knowledge sharing. Switching to the location-specific advantage, we made an analysis of the potential markets divided by areas. We identified the Asian, Pacific, American, and European market. For every market, we analyzed the advantages and disadvantages of starting a business, always considering the presence of Filipino expats. We ended up with an expansion plan that considers as first step the opening of Asian markets, as second step Australia and New Zealand, then the USA, and in a last step the European market. Vietnam could be the first market for these 8 reasons. However, Australia, China, and America are 3 strategic places where to open for the above-mentioned reasons. Now it's time to think about how to enter in the market. In our opinion, the best way to enter is with wholly owned subsidiaries, in order to provide a unique vision to the foreign subsidiaries, to gain market knowledge and international experience, to control the decision-making and the process of internationalization and diffusion of knowledge, and to strengthen the brand. In this way, the company will proceed with a slow expansion in the first years that will lead subsidiaries to be independent. After gaining a strong position, the company could start with franchising, since it will have a larger number of franchisee candidates to choose among. Following this strategy, Jollibee will have a long-term competitive advantage through the promotion of Filipino origin as added value of Jollibee's food, and a renovated design that distinguishes the fast food chain from the others and that is applied to all the stores. However, the food will be a little adapted locally in order to attract a wider range of customers, but keeping in each menu the main Jollibee meals. Every subsidiary franchisee will be source of ideas and innovation development. This means that Jollibee's aim should include enough local differentiation and global integration in its strategy. As a result, the company will move to a transnational strategy. This will involve several structural changes, since every franchisee will operate locally, but it will also be coordinated with the headquarters. The headquarters will have the operational function of supporting and managing the KMS in order to consolidate knowledge coming from all the units. The company should develop a willingness to change and adaptation, and management processes will be adapted in order to resolve the diversity of interests. That's the end of our presentation. We look forward to working with you to put into practice the most effective internationalization strategy. Thank you for your attention.